What's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot, and we are back for some player props and spreads in the NBA for Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals, where the Atlanta Hawks are back home in Atlanta taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Series tied 1-1. Man, oh man, it's going to be a good game. But subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're only 80 subscribers, just 80 subscribers away from 7,000. We can't do it without you guys. Subscribe, it really helps us. COS is going to the moon. We really appreciate all you guys' support. Let's recap yesterday real quick. It was a 1-2 day, and talk about a pillow fight yesterday. CP3 over 27.5 points plus assists. He went 6 for 22 from the field. Two back-to-back terrible games from CP3. The Suns still do pull out the victory, but talk about a bad game. Devin Booker scored 25 points, fouled out, only 2 rebounds, no assists, so of course he's not going to hit his 37.5 PRAs. What can you do about that? Paul George, he comes in clutch, cashes his over in PRAs. Didn't shoot very well, 5 for 20, but still about 16 rebounds, like 6 assists. We love to see that. Shout out to our COS All-Stars. Sorry about all the crazy setup. Shout out to the COS All-Stars. I know the setup's been a little weird, but we'll be back and at it at home tomorrow. But let's talk about Hawks versus Bucks. You know, you got the Hawks. They stole game 1, but then they got absolutely boat raced in game 2. But today, they are still 5-point underdogs, 4 or 5-point underdogs. It is Bucks -4, -5, something along those lines. The over-under is set at, I believe, 224. I believe that is what I saw. Let's get into it. Let me know your favorite bet down below in the comments. Let me know who you guys got winning today's game. Where are we going to start? We're going to start with Jrue Holiday. Under 5.5 rebounds, -130. I know this is a little bit of a juiced line, but you got to look at it. The day goes on, this might become even more and more juiced, so get it in while you can. For starters, you already have Giannis grabbing a ton of rebounds. You already got Khris Middleton. He's getting his. PJ Tucker, he's averaging like 7 rebounds, I believe, in games 1 and 2. And then you have Brook Lopez, who's been non-existent. And so I can understand why people might want to bet his under. Brook Lopez, that is. But he's due. He's due like an 8-rebound outing. And you could argue Jrue Holiday is due an 8-rebound outing as well. But if you look at it, Jrue spends the majority of his time out on the perimeter. He's obviously the primary defender on Trae Young, which he did a great job. Him and Brook Lopez did a great job in game 2, stopping Trae Young and making him turn it over 9 times in that game. But you look at it, game 1, he had 4 rebounds. Game 2, he followed that up with 2 rebounds. And then you go back to the regular season, he had 5, 4, and 5 rebounds. He has yet to hit this over in all 5, or I believe all 5 of their games, regular season and postseason. Now, what if you're like, all right, what about last year? What about the year before? You'd have to go back all the way till March 31st, 2012 for the last time that Jrue Holiday had 6+ rebounds against the Atlanta Hawks. Yes, that would be 15 straight games he has gone under. So naturally, I can probably guarantee he goes over today. But I'm taking the trend. I like it. Not only, analytically, mathematically, but also strategically. He's not out in the paint getting a lot of rebounds. He's out on the perimeter contesting shots left and right. So I'm going to take the under and I'm going to roll with it. If you want to set the over today, go for it. I welcome it. Taking Jrue Holiday, under 5.5 rebounds. Moving on, same player. Jrue Holiday taking his over 27.5 points plus assists. If you don't have this exact line, it is -130, juice like his rebounds under is. Then, see, that's why I wouldn't suggest PRAs, because I don't think he has a great edge on the rebound. So you're kind of giving away a little bit of this, but maybe take his points. His assist line is still pretty good too. Now, I could have taken this line at 28.5, but then that was -118, but I just had to go up a little bit because you and I both know how crazy good the Vegas and the sports books and how sharp they are on betting these lines. You saw Chris Paul, his line was 18.5. He ended on 18 on the dot, even despite a terrible game. We'll be back for some more Chris Paul in Game 5. You can bet on that. But you look at it in game, and we bet this same prop in Game 2. Jrue Holiday cashed for us and did it in just 32 minutes. He put up 22 points, 7 assists, and he did it pretty easily. Now, that was in a blowout. Today, I expect this game to be a little bit closer, and so does Vegas and the sports books. They have it, like I said, the line is at 4 or 5 points. Now, I expect Jrue Holiday to get closer to the 36 to 40 minutes that he has been averaging. And you saw in game 1, he dominated. He had 33 points, 10 assists. And then in the regular season, he had 30 points and assists in both of the previous 2 matchups. He has cashed this in 4 straight games. And now he's been going at Trae Young, whoever they got guarding him on the offensive side of the ball, because he's obviously clamping up Trae, or at least trying his best, because it's hard to clamp up Trae on the defensive side. But he's been aggressive on offense, and he's become probably their second best scorer in this series. Khris Middleton is struggling, and that should probably continue on the road where he normally struggles. Or maybe he's doing a vice versa. Maybe he's flipping his normal thing where he stinks at home and then is great on the road. Well, I guess we'll see. But I still like Jrue Holiday to get this over 27.5 points plus assists, -130. I think he's got a really good shot at it, and he's been great this this series, and I think that continues in Atlanta. We're taking the over. Moving on to the other side of the coin, we're taking some Hawks props. We're talking about John Collins over 24.5 points plus rebounds. Now, you could take his PRAs. It should be 25.5. So basically almost the same line, and I think you should be able to get you 1 assist. So getting you the same line. But we took this in game 2. Collins and really the Hawks, they stunk it up. And so obviously he did not hit it. But he showed promise. He had 11 points and 8 rebounds. He only played 24 minutes, well below his normal 35 to 40 minutes that he has been playing. Now, Collins, he also sees in the playoffs, he's seen a 2.5 points per game increase at home. And that's going to be the case for a lot of these role players for the Atlanta Hawks. And even for the Milwaukee Bucks, they play much better at home. And so I think that continues today. He had a big game 1. You saw him, 23 points, 15, 16 rebounds, absolutely destroying this 24.5 points plus rebounds. And even despite the blowout, despite only 24 minutes of action, he still got somewhat close. I mean, he had 19 points plus rebounds. That's not too shabby. Now, he was close to hitting his 6th straight double-digit rebounding game, and I think he has a good chance of doing that again today. Don't mind taking his rebounding prop if you don't have the points plus rebounds. I mean, he's had, like I said, he had 5 straight games of double-digit rebounds prior to game 2 of this series, and I think he gets back on track. I think the Hawks keep it closer today, and I'm locking this one in. John Collins, over 24.5 points plus rebounds. Moving on, my final play of the day before, well, you never know. Maybe the day goes on. Trae Young, over 9.5 assists, minus 105. Now, Trae Young, we took this bet. He was one of our 3 L's in Game 2. And although we did have a positive day in Game 2, we need to clean that up. And so you look at it, Trae Young, he did not play well, like we already talked about. 3 assists, but let's talk about his whole performance. 15 points, 6 of 16 shooting, 3 assists, 9 turnovers. Yes, 9 turnovers. And if there was an assist plus turnover prop, he probably would have cashed that one in this game. But Trae, he's going to bounce back today because he has to. This is the Atlanta Hawks team that he's their heart and soul. They need him to play well, or else they will have no chance. And I think he will do just that. He's averaging throughout these playoffs in their home games, he's averaging 12.2 assists per game, well above what he normally averages on the road. His teammates knock down shots like we talked about with John Collins, we talked about with Jrue Holiday. The other teammates are going to knock down more shots than they do just because they're on the road or at home for the Atlanta Hawks in this case. Now, I expect to see some Capella, John Collins lobs, get the hometown crowd fired up, and I think we got a good chance. Trae Young going over 9.5 assists. Sure, we took it in Game 2, it was now, but I think today we got a W. We're taking it. Trae Young over 9.5 assists. You could take his points prop, I don't know. It's like 28.5, 29.5. Not going to really trust that. Like I said, the Bucks did a really good job at playing defense on him, and obviously he did not play his normal amount of minutes. But I think they'll adjust to that, and they'll play better on offense today, as they only scored, 90 points in game 2. So they're going to feed off the hometown crowd's energy, and he's hitting this over. Now, I do want to say, follow us on Twitter at CallinOurShot, and join our Discord if you haven't already. Discord is linked down below in the description. Now, there are, some things that go on throughout the day. Maybe some odds boosts come out. Maybe some lineup changes come out. Either way, I think there are some things that could change. And so if there is a bet that I do like maybe Bogdanovic gets moved down to the bench or something like that, or who knows what happens. Like we saw Marcus Morris go to the bench yesterday. Then I want to add those plays, maybe official plays. So go check out our Twitter at CallinOurShot. I'll tweet them out there. Put them in the Discord. I'll also update the pin. I'll pin a comment in the comments below with an official play. But here's a couple other plays I did consider. Now we talked about Clint Capella. I would consider his over 12.5 rebounds. I believe that is juiced at minus 130, but I think he's got a good chance of hitting that as well. But not going to make that an official play. But I think he has a good chance. He's averaging 13.4 rebounds per game at home in these playoffs. Also, Bogdanovic. A lot of you might be going back to the Bogdanovic well. I would say caution. A lot of those player projections have him going over it's 9.5 points. We took it at 11.5. That was different. That's 2 whole points. I think he's a little bit healthier. He looked a little bit better in Game 2. Obviously, they got blown out, so why play a guy that's banged up a lot of minutes in a blowout? Yeah, you're not going to do that. But I think he's got a good chance. It's 9.5 points. The man could hit that and literally play 10 minutes of action. He's that good of a scorer and shooter. He could easily hit that. Now, so caution on betting another under on him. I know he was injured. But also another one, PJ Tucker's under 4.5 points. I could see that. He either scores 3 points or 0, or he scores 10 points. Now, that's happened a couple times this playoffs, but in his last 8 games, he's broken double digits twice. All the rest of the other 6 games, he has gone under, so not a bad one you can bet there. But this will be our final recap, our 4 official plays. If you want a spread pick, I'd probably lean the Bucks. Personally, I'd lean the Bucks to win this game and probably cover the 4 or 5 points over under 224. I think that's going to be a close one. I'd probably lean the under just because I think the under hits on the road for the Bucks. I don't think they score as many points as they normally. That one's a toss-up. But recap of all my 4 official plays. Sorry about the scuffed setup. Jrue Holiday, under 5.5 rebounds. Jrue Holiday over 27.5 points plus assists. John Collins over 24.5 points plus assists. And Trae Young over 9.5 assists. Those are my 4 official plays. Good luck today. Let me know your favorite bet in the comments down below. This has been Austin. Go follow us on Twitter and Facebook or whatever at Calling Our Shot. We really appreciate it. Let's end the weekend strong. This has been Austin. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Peace.